Hi, welcome to the channel again. It's Kavram here. So this video is about CSEC technical drawing, right? So what I'll discuss on this video is basically how to set up your paper on your drawing board, how to use your T-square along with your set squares to do simple constructions. So at the end of this video, students are supposed to be able to know how to manually set up the paper on the drawing board and how to use effectively their T-square with the set squares, right? So let's go and look at that video on that, right? God bless. Hi, welcome again. So this here is your drawing setup. Is a T-square, your drawing paper, right? Normally the drawing boards that is used for technical drawing is slanted, right? But I'm using a flat tabletop here, right? And we'll maneuver and look at how to use the T-square on all of your apparatus, right? So the basic apparatus for technical drawing is a T-square, right? There are various forms of the T-square. You have the ones with the ruler at the edge, and then with plastic, it have these wooden ones, right? And then it have the ones with no ruler on the edge, right? This was my T-square. It's 22 years ago I used this, right? So other than your T-square is your 90, so 90, and your 45, both of these is 45, right? So you call this a 90-45 set square because this is 90 degrees and then you have your 45 and your 45, right? Then you have your 90, 30, 60 set square. So there's a 90 degrees, this is your 60 degrees, and this is your 30 degrees. So you call this a 90, 60, and 30 degrees. So you have your 90, 45, you have your 90, 60, 30, your T-square, and then you will be using engineering ruler, which is in millimeters, right? You have your millimeter scale there. You would need 2 mechanical pencils, one with 0.5 HP, that is for your product when you finish drawing it, your end product of your drawing, and a next mechanical pencil with 2H 0.5 points, that is to do your construction lines where it is very light. So this will give you a deep shade, this will give you a light shade, right? And then your compass, right? Stadler is the best in these, and it's easy to maneuver and open and close this. Press and hold, open and close, and then you could fine tune in the middle here, right? This could also bend also, right? This comes normally in a set, right? So you could always look for the Stedler brand, but they have in Trinidad and Tobago, they have the Helix brand, right? So you could always research and you could always get this Stedler. This will last. I had this one here from when I used to do technical drawing 22 years ago, right? So these are the things that you need, right? You need also your eraser, and you need a cloth, right? I use a tissue paper here because ever so often when you're drawing your lines, you will have the pencil hitting the edge and causing little shavings, and you'll have to dust your sheet ever so often and make sure you have a clean product at the end of the day, right? And other than that, you need your mask and tape, right? So these are the things that we need: your T-square, your cloth, your 90, 60, 30 set square, your 90, 45, your compass, your engineering ruler, and your 2 mechanical pencils, right? So let's look and see how we could set up our drawing paper to do a drawing. Alright, remember these are the fundamentals. So just this video is basically to show you how to maneuver and use your T-square and your set squares to do certain constructions in technical drawing. So what I'll be focusing on is some of the plane geometry in the syllabus for technical drawing and also solid geometry. Other than the plane and solid geometry in the CSEC syllabus in technical drawing, you have your options with building, civil, engineering drawings, or you have your mechanical drawings, right? Engineering drawings. So that's how the syllabus is broken up. You have your fundamentals with dimensions and lettering, and then you have your plane and solid geometry, and then you have your options there where you could choose either mechanical drawing or building drawing. Right? Today I'm just going to just show you how to maneuver and use your T-square with your ruler and your set squares, and basically bisect a line, construct a few angles, construct a plane figure, and also to construct an isometric and oblique solid. Right? So when you have your paper, you will want to make sure that you place your T-square using the edge of your table. Right? So you'll be using, if you have to draw vertical lines, you will not be using your ruler and pulling and no, you're using your T-square, and you could be able to slide this and draw vertical lines. To draw horizontal lines, you will be sliding this up and down to draw your horizontal lines. But in order to get your perfect vertical and your horizontal line, you will have to make sure that this paper is in line with your T-square. So when you're setting up your drawing, you make sure that this T-square hits the edge, and then you can either pull down your paper closer to you, right? And then you slide your T-square, and you make sure that the edge is lined up with your T-square, right? So if we have this here, so you can make sure that the edge, so make sure this is straight, right? And you're not seeing the edge of the paper again there, so you know that that is straight there. Once you have that, you get your masking tape and hold any paper, and you just do the edge. Alright, edge again. Good. Once you have that there, you can just check it back to make sure that it is in line with the edge of your T-square, and you could finish with this part here. Make sure you have no waves, so just the edge. No waves. Good. Once you have that, you can give a little dust there. Alright, see, this apparatus was already dirty and you have a little speck there. Alright, but we'll ignore that. So from time to time, so you just checking to see straight, and if you look at this one down here, also straight also. Alright, so that's how you maneuver with setting up your paper with your T-square, right? So that you could be able to utilize to draw horizontal and a vertical line, right? Using your T-square. Now let's look at your basic drawing. Let's go to probably bisecting a line segment, right? So normally you will want to write that in dimensionings. You would have been doing line work, right? So I'm just showing you how you could just basically write what you're going to do, right? So we would measure, just want to measure 1 centimeter. Right, remember the fundamentals with line work and dimensioning I'm not covering here, but I'm just showing you how you could, when you're doing a drawing, how you could write the heading or the question that you're going to do, right? So we'll get 1 centimeter there. Then, so I'll just use this one here. 1 centimeter, 0.5 in the middle there. And then I'll be looking at 0.1 above it and 0.1 below it. So 0.5. So we could just put basically we're going to bisecting aligning segment. Let's just say AB equaling, let's just say 100 millimeters. And I remember 100 millimeters be 10 centimeters, right? So basically we have that there. So let's look at it here. We'll go ahead and use our T-square, and we will draw a long line. Then I'll take now my ruler, so I have 0. I'll take my compass, open up this compass to 100. Good. Once I have 100 there, I could go anywhere on this line, place my point, and cut. Wherever I cut that there, place the point now, flip the compass, and I cut. So this here now, this will be A, and this here will be B. Right? And if I want to bisect this now, I could take the compass, could open and close it to whatever I want, right? So I place in the compass point by A, open up the compass to greater than half the distance of AB, and I can make an arc on top, and I'll make an arc on the bottom. I will not close the compass. I'm going across by B, and I'm going to cut and cut. Now you realize that the arc from A didn't meet that arc from B, so I come back here and I extend it and I extend it. Alright, you will put a little dot there by the intersection of the arcs, and then you would use your set square. So just make sure that C squared is straight. Alright. Use your set square and you line it up with the edge of your T square, and you go through, you draw a line through the two intersections of your arcs. Good. So basically you have bisected your line segment, right? Where this here will be 50 and this here will be 50. If we look at it, you would see 50 and you will also see 50, right? So that is bisecting a line segment of a given length, right? Now we're going to look at constructing a 90 degrees on a line segment, bisecting the 90 degrees, constructing a 60 degrees also, and bisecting that, right? So we have to go through the process again where we would roll up our paper again, right? So you could, and every time you have the interchange, you could just, you know, to peel out the tape fully. You could leave it there and you bring in your next sheet. Alright? So bring in your next sheet. Remember, the normal size paper for technical drawing is the A4. It's a little bigger than this, but I'm just using this as a guide. Alright? To fit on the camera and so on, so you can see the whole thing. So we're just making sure this again there is straight. So you can just pull along that there if you want to. Right, so we have that straight with your T square. Right, so we could hold it there. And you put back your tape. Let's check it there. Yeah, I think we're good there. Right. This edge on this desk is not straight, right? So that is why I'm trying to maneuver and make sure that we get through there. Right. But when you scale, you could use a edge that is not straight and fight the T square. Right now my T square is not balanced there how it's supposed to be, but I'm pulling it to an extent to get it. Right, but you with your correct drawing table and your straight edge, you have to make sure that those edges on your desk is straight, right? So that when you're doing this and you set this paper, you know you could utilize this T square. If it is your page is bent, your edge is not straight, your T square is not set up with your paper, you cannot draw good and ideal horizontal and vertical lines with the T square, right? So we're going ahead here now with what we'll do is divide this paper into two, and we will do the two constructions here, right? So we could get back this in here straight. Alright, so let's divide this into two. Good. this what I'm doing here is in line work, right? I'm not covering that right now. I'm just showing you how to maneuver your T-square, your set square, and do some simple constructions, right? But I'll do some other videos with line work and so on. So we are going to construct constructing 90-degree angle on line segment put XY, I'll put it as 90. We'll also do a part B in this bisecting in 90, right? We'll be constructing a 60-degree angle on line segment AB equaling 70 millimeters. Right? So remember that you would draw a long straight line. Good. Then you would go with your compass, place it at 0, open up to 90. Good. Place it anywhere on your line. Make an arc. Flip, make an arc. This here will be a X, and this here will be a Y. Right? And that is 90. And we want to construct 90 degrees at X, right? It didn't state it here, but we're constructing it at X, right? So you basically place your compass by X, open it up to greater than half the distance of XY, make an arc, cutting XY and coming over X, right? Then you would come here, cut, and then I don't have any here. I barely make it, right? Good. So let's go back that again. You open up your compass there, just greater than half the distance that than XY, cut XY, don't close your compass. Wherever you cut XY, place the compass, cut your previous arc, and then don't close your compass again, come to that arc, and then cut back again. Right? So now you have these two arcs here now, and we are going to construct we're going to construct two more arcs. So wherever this has cut, but I run out of space there now, right? Because it will be above here, right? So what I will do, I will make the arcs below, right, instead of top, because basically we bisecting these two, this arc here, this piece of arc here, I bisected this piece of arc. So instead of going on top where I have no space, I'll go on the underneath, right? So therefore I'll pull this arc here. So once I have this distance here, I will not close the compass. I'll come by this one and I will cut here. Good. So therefore normally this arc is supposed to be on top, but we do it at the bottom because we didn't have the space there. You'll put your dot here, and then you come back here now with your T-square. Just check mark everything there. Make sure you have everything straight. Right. Straight. And you're going through this intersection of those two arcs and X. Right. And this is the 90 degrees because if you look at your 90, 45, 45 is a square, and you line up this, you're seeing that you're getting it there. Although if you use the protractor, you're seeing that it is 90. Right? So that was basically using a T-square, your compass, and bisecting, constructing a 90 degrees. If it is we want to bisect this 90 degrees, you put two dots here. So this is the 90 degree angle. So we want to bisect that angle. So it's just simple. Open it up to any fair distance. Good. Make an arc. And don't close your compass. Cut that previous arc. So going back here to just extend it. You put a dot, and you're going from that dot, the intersection, to X. And check something here now. This is 45, this is 45. So if I place this here, that's supposed to be 45. Seen it there? So utilizing your T-square and your 45, check, you could be sliding this anyhow, and you'll be able to get a 45. And look at there, we construct it 45. Right? So again, you are seeing the so get a eraser and just clean up whatever pencil mark that you had, and just clean up the area. That is always crucial to have the equipment cleaned, right, before use. But before making this video, these instruments wasn't used for a while, right? So just clean up your end product, right? Something that you have to be proud of, right? So that was constructing a 90 degrees and bisecting it. Now let's go and construct 60 degrees and bisect that, right? So here's the line segment again. So I'm gonna come down a little lower. Right, so we'll draw a long straight line using a T-square. You will go ahead and get your 70 here now. Good. Place it anywhere on the line. Come back on the side, cut the side. And that is AB. B, and now we construct the 60 degrees by B. Alright, so we basically placing a compass point by B, open it up to greater than half the distance of AB, cut AB, and come over B. Alright, so you open up your compass greater than the distance of AB, half the distance, cut AB and come over B with an arc. Don't close the compass. Wherever you cut AB, cut back that previous arc, and you finish. You're going through that B and this arc there. So we'll have that there. And if you look at this here now, this is a 90, this is a 60, and this is a 30. So we're supposed to see, when I flip this here, that this is 60 degrees. Look at it. So it's lined up. The edge there with a 30, 60 set square. This is 60 degrees here, this is 30 degrees, and this is 90. Watch here. So you see, we could use that and throw a 60, but we constructed it. Right? What we're going to do is bisect the 60 and we'll line it up and see if we get any 30. Right? So if you could remember, when bisecting an angle, you put your two dots here. That is 60 degrees. This entire angle. So you're just going to bisect that. So you could open up this journey for your distance. Right. Make an arc. You're not closing the compass. You're coming by this end here of the arc and you're cutting back that arc that you made. And put that there. And if you remember this here, 30, 60, 90. So I would expect and there we have it. See it? 30. Right. So at least you know now how to bisect a line segment, you know, to draw a line segment, you know, to construct a 90, bisect it, and a 60 and bisect it, and you know how to utilize your T-square. And then you saw how we got to 30, we 60, we got our 45 and we 90 through construction, right? So what we want to go into now is putting together what we learned here. And let's see how we can maneuver again with the T-square and your set squares and construct a plane figure, a triangle, where they give you the two base angles and a side. Right? So let me want to look at that. I'll just show you right here. This is what we want to construct. Right? So we want to construct this. So again, we're going to remove this paper. It's a new paper, and by now you're supposed to be okay with making sure that you can line up this paper with your T-square. Right? So there we have it. See that they line up? The edge here. So you hold on that. Right, and we go ahead and we place the tape on it. Let's try to move out this one. So it could stay there. So it could stay there. Just make sure your edges is good, and you check it back, because things could move. Alright, so we're good to go there. We have it. Alright, so we're going to construct a triangle, with the two base angles, 130, 160, and we have the distance between the two angles, right? And we'll complete out our triangle. So let's write down that and go ahead with the construction. So again, your outer line work with right. This is one of the subjects that I enjoy doing when I was in high school, right? Because it helps. Well, what we're doing here is also application and critical thinking and watching how to use the apparatus and maneuver and so on, right? So I enjoy that aspect of it, and then also pulling your lines and then looking at your end product. When you look at your end product, you feel so proud, right? So we are going to construct constructing a triangle given base angles which is 30 degrees and 60 degrees, and the distance between the two angles, and what equal by distance of base and length of base, right? Good. So we went ahead with this one. So the first thing that we'll do is that the base, I'll just put xy, the base is equal to, let's go ahead with 75 millimeters. Okay. So let's go ahead here. So we'd have a long straight line. Then we'll look for 75 here. Place it anywhere on the line, not closing the compass. Come back again and flip back here. And you can put this as XY. Good. And let's put the 30 degrees at X, and let's put the 60 degrees at Y, right? So remember to get your 30 degrees, you have to construct a 60 and bisect it. So let's go ahead and do that. So you open up your compass to greater than half the distance of XY, cut XY, come over X. Do not cut the previous arc. Now this here is 60 degrees, so I'm going to bisect that. So open up this, make an arc, come back here at the other end, make an arc, and you put it out there. Alright? And we could use the 30, 60 set square and pull that to see if we're really accurate. Alright? and we on. Now with that. Alright, so we on with that. Alright, look at that. Shift. Alright, so we good to go there. That there is your 30. Let's go by Y and construct our 60. So we come by Y. Open up to greater than half the distance of XY. Cut XY and come over Y. Do not close the compass. Wherever you cut XY, come and cut back that arc. And you could use your 60, 30, 90 set square. This is 60. And we could check and see if we have that 60. Okay? And we have it. Look, it's there. So we know we have it. Alright? So this here so let's put this in there. So this is a completed triangle. Let's just put this in as Z here. Alright, so this here is 30 degrees. This here is 60 degrees. And if we measure this is supposed to be 90. We'll measure just now. And this here was a 75, right? So if you look at it here, that is 90. Seen it? Yeah? 90 degrees, because this is 60 here and it's 30. 90. So that is it there with a plain figure, right? What we want to look at is an isometric drawing, an oblique drawing. These are in your solid geometry component in your CSEC technical drawing syllabus. So let's just look at isometric and finish up this class today. So today was basically looking at maneuvering how to set up this drawing paper to use a T-square so you could draw a horizontal line and you could use it to draw a vertical line. The only way you could do that is if you set up your T-square with your paper. So when you bring it in there, you hold it down there so you know that the edges is lined up with the horizontal to draw horizontal lines. So then you know you could pull horizontal lines and you could pull your vertical lines, right? So let's go and look at the isometric drawing. Now, I'm not going into detail with the isometric and oblique drawings, but it's basically solids and they are 3D and they are drawn at angles. So the isometric is drawn at 30 degrees from the x-axis, and the oblique is also drawn at an angle of 45 from the x-axis. Right, so they just tilted solids. In order to draw a 3D and have it at that angle, it is easy for us to view the sides of right around that shape, right? But that's for next class to talk about the details of isometric and oblique. What we want to do today is to see how we could be able to draw an isometric drawing, a 3D drawing. Let's just say that for now. With maneuvering with our apparatus. See how we could use the apparatus to maneuver, and that isometric drawing will help us use this and our set squares to become one with it. Right? So let me go with that isometric drawing. So we'll I'm going to show you drawing. We're going to do this drawing. So this is tilted 30 and 30. This is 90. Right? I'll talk about it a little bit there. So what we will be doing, we will look at the dimensions right around, right? I'll change all of these into millimeters, right? It's looking big here, but it'll be very small on the paper, right? Because the scene is 50, 20, 80 and so on. It'll be a little small on the paper, right? But let's look at it one time here before I change out my paper, right? So this here is 30 degrees. It is tilted 30 degrees, and also again here 30 degrees. We're going up this way, right? So right, and is 90 degrees then. That would have been if we had this here. So you know this whole thing here is 90, but we tilted it. I don't know if you can probably see that there. Yeah, probably could zoom up here a little bit. Alright, so this is the vertical, this is 90, this is the horizontal, and we're going to tilt these sides at 30 degrees. Right, in order just for us to get a good view when we have to draw the sides and the top of this in orthographic projections, right, as the next component in the CSEC syllabus, right? So we'll be using 80, we'll be using 35, we'll be using 50, we'll be using 20, we'll be using 20, and we'll be using 20. Right? So again, I tell you, there is a good subject because it helps you to critically think and figure out certain sides, right? So we know this is 80, so this whole thing here will be 50, right? This here, if this here is 20 and this whole thing is 80, well then you know this here is 60, right? So I will try to leave this where we could see it, right? Good. I'll show you, probably put it on top so we could well, I'll bring it in and out when we go into draw it, but I will just exchange our paper now. So the isometric drawings and also orthographic projections drawing the views of isometric oblique drawing, it helps you to become one with your t-square and your set squares. So that is the drawings that you should really be focusing on to master the use of your apparatus. So we're going ahead here again. And set up this. Right. So it's rather spend time doing this than rushing to go and do a diagram, and then when you pull in lines, you can't use your t-square, you can't use your set square in drawing. Right? So we have it there. Let's move up this a little bit. This one here did not have to move much, eh? The rest of them we have to move. Alright. So let's check it up. Yes, everything is good there. So with this isometric, you look at your maximum height and you look at your maximum of your sides, and we want to draw an isometric box, and that will be drawn light with your 2H points. And within the box now, when you have that isometric box, which is really a cuboid, you would be able to put in this inside of that box. So I always guide my students and tell them, when you're looking at this isometric, don't go and start to draw it as it is there. Get your dimensions of the maximum height, lengths around this, and draw an isometric box, which is a cuboid here for this, right? So let's look at it here. The maximum height is 35 and 80, and this is 50. So I'm going to draw an isometric box with 80, 50, and upwards 35. Everybody agree? Right? So let's go ahead with that. So we come down the road here. Seeing that there will be that. So all we want to draw, I'll just draw a long line. So I'm gonna get this line here. So 35. Good. And 80, but let's draw this long side first. So you see how we're using this on the set square. So if you didn't have the T-square line up with your page, no way we could use the set square right now here with the T-square. And this side going 30 degrees, drawing it long. I'll come back and measure my place now. Flip the T-square, the set square, and draw a long line on the side. Alright, now I can measure it off here. Alright, normally you use your compass, measure it off. Alright, that is 80, and we want to go 50. Okay. So I can go up the road with all the vertical lines. Yes, where the first vertical line you drew, so you just want to make sure you match them at that. Right, and we're going up 35. So you come back here again and check and see if you're straight with that. That is the first vertical line. I come here and the 0 is on that line, and I'm going up 35. Right. I come in here also 35. Only dot there, but I want to check back and see if I have the same thing as the other lines. Yes, so I could go up here 35 also. Nice. And now I'm going to pull the 80. So let's stop on top. Let's go for down it. Okay. So pull across this here. So pull across this here. Good. So I could go down the road here and pull a long line, and that there is supposed to be 50. So hope you're looking at the maneuvering of the object, the set squares there. So it's 50. Come across this here. Okay, I'll be a isometric box. Basically, this is going to fit inside here, right? So now we could be able to go ahead and use the HB points and actually pull our shape inside of this box now. So you know, once you have your box, you know your shape going inside your box, right? And rather I was doing it there without the box, they might have been off with some things. But once you know you have your box here with the maximum dimensions, you know this shape how to be inside here, right? So let's go ahead, we're going to darken this 80. The 35, come across 20, and I'll come down 20, come across, right? And so let me do this side first, then I'll do this side, this here, and then I'll see about the top. We agree? So this side, so I'm going to do this L, then this side here, this, and then I'll be doing the top. And then lastly, I could be seeing about this here, right? So there we go ahead and look there. So I'm going to darken this. Nice. And we go into darken this. So using my 90 there. Very good there. So I have the 35 and the 80. I'm going to also do this. So we have the 35, the 80. So I'm going to do this 20, right? Good. And I'll also do this 20 over here. Then we could darken this 50. Could also darken this there. Good. So it's coming along. We have this. We want to see about this piece here, and then we'll be seeing what the other pieces, right? So let's go ahead. We're going ahead and pull 20 here. Good. And we want to come down 20 perpendicular. So carrying up this thing here. Make sure if you have a perpendicular line on your drawing, you make sure you always go back to that perpendicular line and make sure that you see it there. So we could go ahead and pull down 2. Alright. Check it back here. So we're going to pull down 2. Go all the way there. So drawing it down. Get the 2 here. Check back that. Yeah. Come back here. Pull on this 2. Good. Now we could just go ahead and connect here. Let's check what's up here. This is 2. It's 2. Alright, so connect this here. Two. So this is the one here. Let's see this here. So this is going here. Here is this excess, and we could darken. Darken this. Good. And we're going ahead and let's darken this piece here. Could pull across this here. Just make sure this thing goes back straight here. Okay, once on there, you can pull this here. So you all know. Pull this here. And we could darken this. So you see how you're flipping this always to get your 30. What I'm using 90. So you're gonna head here. Good. And we're coming down the road here. Maybe just go across here with a light line. So just about this here. The problem with my desk is that it's not straight, so I have to maneuver. Alright. So that's good there. That's good there. So we could bring this on here. And just carry you straight across. And all I have to do here now, look at this here, bring down here. So you see, bring he down there, and flip back again, and we finish the diagram. We're gonna see if we finish it. Alright, so we have that. So all I have to do here now is just connect this, and we are on there. So look at it there. We have this face, this here, this here, everything there. So what it allowed us to do was making sure that you could set up this drawing paper to be one with your T-square. Alright, so you could pull your horizontal lines and the vertical lines, and it had us flip in to T, and then again it had us flip in again to T, and all your vertical lines there was 90. So it had you using this 30, 60, 90 set square, where you was looking at 30 that side, you was looking at 30 this way, and then it had us with our 90 vertical line in order to get through. Right, so it was maneuvering with your 30, 60 set square, your T-square to draw your isometric. Right, so I hope this video assists most students who doing technical drawing at whatever level. These are fundamentals. It's always good to do your manual drawings. The component of CSEC is your AutoCAD, where you'll do your option, your engineering drawing or your building drawing on your computer using the AutoCAD program. That is a computer-aided drafting tool. So that is software that will be on the computer, and you'll be able to pull these lines on the computer. But it's good for any technical drawing student to master the manual, because at the end of the day, if something shut down or something happened in the computer, you could do that drawing on paper and still get through. So if you're in a job or the occupation of that where it requires those drawings, you could still do it because you have the techniques and you have the skill to do it on paper manually, right? The computer just makes it a little faster and is more accurate too, right? This has human error here, right? With parallax error and reading off your dimensions, right? So what we have learned today is how to set up your paper with your T-square, so that if this paper is set up with a T-square, you could draw your horizontal lines and you could do your vertical lines. And we also looked at how to maneuver and use your 90, 60 and 30 set square to do plane figures, bisect lines, bisect angles, and do isometric, right? So I will do some further videos with further concepts in your plane and solid geometry, even go into the mechanical object, the mechanical option, and do some drawings. Right? So God bless. Take care.